Have you ever wondered how the first civilizations came into being? Let's journey back in time, over 12,000 years ago, to a period known as the Neolithic Revolution. This was a time when our ancestors began to shift from a nomadic lifestyle to one of settled farming. They planted the first seeds of agriculture in the Fertile Crescent, a region in the Middle East known for its rich, arable land. This shift marked a significant turning point in human history, as it gave birth to the very concept of civilization. The establishment of agriculture led to the development of the first cities, such as Uruk and Ur. These were not merely clusters of dwellings, but complex societies with distinct social hierarchies, economic systems, and religious beliefs. As populations grew, so did the need for organization and governance. Thus, the concept of a state was born. In these early city-states, people began to specialize in various crafts and trades. Some became potters, weavers, or blacksmiths, while others turned to trade and commerce. This division of labor was a crucial step towards the development of complex societies. It fostered economic growth and paved the way for technological advancements. But what truly set these civilizations apart was the development of writing. The Sumerians, one of the earliest civilizations in the Fertile Crescent, invented a form of writing known as cuneiform around 3000 BC. This marked the beginning of recorded history. With writing, humans could now document their laws, transactions, and even their thoughts and ideas. It allowed them to pass on knowledge from one generation to the next, and it gave us a window into their world. In the grand scheme of human history, the birth of civilization was a radical transformation. It set the stage for the rise of empires, the advancement of science and technology, and the evolution of culture and art. And thus, in the fertile grounds of the Middle East, the seeds of civilization were sown. From these modest beginnings, mighty empires would rise. As the dawn of civilization broke, the ancient world saw the ascendance of some of the earliest and most influential empires in human history. The land of the Nile, Egypt, was one of the first to witness the rise of a grand empire. Here, an intricate system of governance was brought to life under the rule of the pharaohs. These divine monarchs, considered gods on earth, led the construction of monumental structures that still captivate us today. The most iconic among them, of course, are the pyramids. These magnificent tombs stand as a testament to the architectural prowess of the ancient Egyptians and their deep reverence for the afterlife. In the fertile land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, the Sumerians carved out their own empire. They developed a complex society, complete with distinct social classes, a legal code, and even a writing system known as cuneiform. The Sumerians were pioneers in many fields, including mathematics, astronomy, and agriculture, leaving an indelible mark on human history. Yet the cradle of civilization was not confined to the Middle East. Along the banks of the Indus River, a civilization flourished that was as complex and advanced as its contemporaries. The Indus Valley civilization, known for its urban planning and advanced sanitation systems, showcased the remarkable ingenuity of its people. As we move further into the Bronze Age, we encounter the Hittites and the Mycenaeans. The Hittites, based in modern-day Turkey, were renowned for their mastery of ironworking. They were also one of the first to use chariots in warfare, revolutionizing the conduct of battles. Meanwhile, the Mycenaeans, the first advanced civilization on the European mainland, are often remembered for their legendary conflict with Troy, immortalized in Homer's epic, the Iliad. With the fall of Troy, an era came to an end, setting the stage for even larger empires to emerge. These early civilizations laid the groundwork for the rise of empires, shaping the course of human history with their achievements and their failures. They were the stepping stones to a new era, an era of even grander empires and far-reaching impacts. But what happens when empires clash? The scene is set in the 5th century BC, where the mighty Persian Empire came face to face with the city-states of Greece. This period witnessed the famous Persian Wars, a series of conflicts that showcased the courage and strategic genius of the Greeks. Despite their smaller size and lesser resources, the Greeks managed to fend off the Persians, marking a significant turning point in history. This victory set the stage for the rise of classical Greece, an era that would be remembered for its profound cultural and intellectual advancements. This was the age of Socrates and Plato, the fathers of Western philosophy who challenged prevailing norms and introduced new ways of thinking. The political experiments of this time, notably the birth of democracy in Athens, would also leave a lasting impact on the world. Yet, as Greece was reaching its zenith, another power was quietly growing in the west. The city of Rome, once a small republic, was transforming itself into an empire. It swallowed up its neighbors, expanding its boundaries and influence. Under the reign of Augustus, the first Roman emperor, the Pax Romana, or the Roman peace, was established. This 200-year period was marked by relative peace, stability, and prosperity. The Romans excelled in engineering, leaving behind a rich legacy of roads, aqueducts, and buildings. Latin, the language of Rome, also spread far and wide, influencing many modern languages. Parallel to these developments, a new religion was slowly spreading across the empire. Christianity, with its message of love and equality, found favor among the masses, eventually becoming the state religion under Emperor Constantine. This marked a significant shift in the spiritual landscape of the empire and beyond. The sun set on the Roman Empire, but its impact on the world was far from over. The language, the laws, the architectural marvels, the philosophical ideas, and the religious beliefs that originated during this age continue to shape our world even today. The Classical Age, thus, was a defining chapter in the story of humanity. As Rome fell, the world plunged into darkness, or so we thought. When the mighty Roman Empire crumbled, it marked the onset of a period often referred to as the Dark Ages. This was a time of societal regression, economic instability, and political upheaval. However, it's worth noting that this term is largely a Western perspective. While Western Europe was grappling with the aftermath of Rome's fall, other parts of the world were experiencing a different narrative. In the East, the Byzantine Empire, also known as the Eastern Roman Empire, was flourishing. It became a beacon of stability and a hub of culture, preserving the classical knowledge that had been lost in the West. Their capital, Constantinople, was a shining jewel of the ancient world, a city of grandeur and sophistication. Meanwhile, in the deserts of Arabia, a new force was emerging: Islam. The spread of Islam was swift and far-reaching, reaching from Spain to India in just a few centuries. This brought about a golden age of scientific, artistic, and philosophical advancements, often overlooked in the shadow of the so-called Dark Ages. As the centuries rolled on, we transition into the medieval period, a time marked by the rise of feudalism and the establishment of kingdoms across Europe. This was an era of knights and castles, lords and serfs, a time when power was held by the few and the many toiled under their rule. During this time, the Crusades were waged, a series of holy wars that had far-reaching impacts. These wars not only had religious implications, but they also led to significant cultural and technological exchanges between the East and the West. This intermingling of cultures during the Crusades, coupled with the societal structures of feudalism, set the stage for the Renaissance and the eventual birth of the modern world. The medieval period with its knights and castles was a time of great change, paving the way for the modern world. So, what can we take away from our journey through ancient history? In the grand tapestry of time, the birth of civilization marks a key turning point. From the first sparks of agricultural innovation in the fertile valleys of the Tigris and Euphrates, human beings began to carve out a new way of life. We moved from nomadic wanderers to settled farmers, from scattered tribes to cohesive societies. This was the dawn of civilization, the first step in a journey that would shape the course of our history. From these humble beginnings, empires rose and fell, each leaving an indelible mark on the pages of history. The ebb and flow of power, the rise and fall of great leaders, the expansion and contraction of borders. These are the dramatic narratives that have defined our world. The empires of old were the building blocks of modern nations, their legacies still evident in the languages we speak, the laws we follow, and the cultures we celebrate. Then came the Classical Age, a period of remarkable intellectual and cultural growth. The philosophies, arts, and sciences of this era continue to resonate today, influencing our thoughts, shaping our values, and guiding our pursuits. It was a time when human potential was realized in extraordinary ways, laying the foundation for much of our modern world. Yet history is not just a tale of progress. The Dark Ages and the medieval period remind us of the cyclical nature of human experience. Times of struggle and stagnation, these eras were also periods of resilience and rebirth. They were the crucibles in which modern societies were forged, their challenges and triumphs shaping the course of our collective journey. As we look back at our roots, we gain a deeper understanding of who we are today. History, after all, is not just about the past. It's about our journey as a species, and that story is far from over.